Imagine a place that has been shrouded in total, absolute darkness for over 2 billion years. A place where the sun never rises, where the temperatures drop lower than the surface of Pluto, and where the silence of the cosmos feels almost heavy. This is the Shackleton Crater, located at the very bottom of the Moon's south pole. For decades, scientists have looked at this massive indentation from afar, wondering what secrets lay hidden in its perpetual shadows. Now, thanks to some of the most advanced technology ever sent into space, NASA has finally peeked inside the void, and what they found is changing everything we thought we knew about our celestial neighbor. The Moon has always been viewed as a dry, dead rock, a barren wasteland of gray dust and craters. But the discovery at the bottom of Shackleton suggests that the Moon might actually be the most valuable piece of real estate in the entire solar system. To understand the significance of this discovery, we have to look at the unique geometry of the crater itself. Shackleton is about 12 miles wide and over 2 miles deep. Because it sits right at the lunar south pole, the sun stays very low on the horizon. While the rim of the crater is bathed in nearly constant sunlight, the interior is shaped in a way that prevents a single ray of light from ever reaching the floor. These areas are known as permanently shadowed regions, or PSRs. They act as cosmic refrigerators, trapping anything that falls into them for billions of years. For a long time, we could only guess what was down there. Orbiters would pass overhead, but their cameras only saw a black pit. That all changed with the arrival of the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter and an incredible piece of equipment called ShadowCam. ShadowCam is a NASA-funded instrument hosted on the Korea Aerospace Research Institute's Danuri spacecraft. It is 200 times more sensitive than previous lunar cameras. It doesn't need the sun to see. Instead, it uses the tiny amount of light reflected off nearby mountains and crater rims to illuminate the darkness. It's like using the light of a distant flashlight to see into a dark cave. When NASA processed the first high-resolution images from the bottom of Shackleton, the scientific community was stunned. They didn't just see rocks and dust. They saw evidence of something that could sustain human life on the Moon indefinitely. The big find was water ice. We aren't talking about a few molecules here and there. The data suggests that the floor of Shackleton, along with other nearby craters, contains millions of tons of water ice mixed into the lunar soil, or regolith. But where did this water come from? On a world with no atmosphere and scorching daytime temperatures, water should be impossible. Scientists believe that over billions of years, comets and asteroids rich in water crashed into the Moon. While most of that water evaporated and escaped into space, some of it migrated to the poles. The molecules would hop across the surface until they tumbled into the freezing depths of Shackleton. Once they hit that negative 300-degree floor, they were stuck forever. It's a literal time capsule of the early solar system, but the discovery goes beyond just ice. The images showed a surprisingly smooth floor with small boulders and strange flow-like features. This suggests that the crater floor is geologically active in its own quiet way, with the ice acting as a sort of lubricant for the soil. This has massive implications for the Artemis missions. NASA is planning to send humans back to the Moon this decade, and the South Pole is the primary target. Why? Because water is the ultimate resource. If we have water, we have life. We can purify it for drinking. We can use electrolysis to split the water into hydrogen and oxygen. The oxygen gives us air to breathe, and the hydrogen becomes high-grade rocket fuel. Shackleton Crater is essentially the first gas station in deep space. Instead of hauling every drop of water and every pound of fuel from Earth at a cost of thousands of dollars per gallon, we can harvest it right there on the lunar surface. This makes a long-term lunar base not just a dream, but a practical reality. Imagine a lunar outpost perched on the rim of Shackleton. On the high peaks, solar panels soak up constant sunlight to power the base. Just a few miles away, robotic rovers descend into the dark crater to mine the ice that sustains the crew. It is the perfect setup for a permanent human presence. But the discovery also sparked a new kind of space race. The United States is not the only one interested in the lunar South Pole. China, Russia, and India are all aiming for the same region. India's Chandrayaan-3 mission successfully landed near the South Pole recently, proving that the terrain, while difficult, is accessible. The scramble for Shackleton is about more than just science. It's about establishing a foothold on the new frontier. NASA's findings at the bottom of the crater have also raised new questions about the history of our solar system. The ice trapped there has been shielded from solar radiation and thermal cycles for eons. By studying samples of this ice, scientists hope to learn about the composition of the early sun and the primitive materials that formed the planets. It's a library of cosmic history that has been waiting for us to open it. However, exploring the bottom of Shackleton is no easy feat. The terrain is incredibly rugged, and the temperatures are so low that most electronics would shatter or seize up instantly. NASA is currently developing specialized rovers like Viper, the Volatile's investigating polar exploration rover, which is designed to navigate the darkness and drill into the ice. These robots will have to survive in a place where the sun never shines and the ground is as hard as granite. The visuals captured by ShadowCam have given engineers the maps they need to plan these treacherous journeys. They found that the slopes leading into the crater are steep, but there are certain paths that a rover could navigate. Seeing the texture of the crater floor, the way the dust settles and the way the shadows fall is critical for mission success. We are moving from the era of observation to the era of utilization. We are no longer just looking at the moon, we are preparing to live there. The discovery of water at the bottom of Shackleton Crater is the catalyst for this shift. It changes the moon from a destination we visit into a place where we stay. It is the stepping stone to Mars and beyond. If we can master the resources of the moon, the rest of the solar system opens up to us. We are living in the most exciting time in the history of space exploration. Every new image from the lunar South Pole brings us closer to a future where humans are a multiplanetary species. The darkness of Shackleton, once a mystery, is now a beacon of hope. It's a reminder that even in the darkest, coldest corners of our universe, there are resources waiting to be found that can propel us into the light of discovery. As we look forward to the next decade, the names of these lunar craters will become as familiar to us as the names of our own cities. Shackleton is just the beginning. The moon is finally giving up its secrets, and the reality of what lies beneath the surface is far more incredible than anything we could have imagined. NASA's journey to the bottom of the moon has revealed that our closest neighbor is not just a rock, but a treasure chest, and we have just found the key. The future of humanity might just depend on what we do with the ice hidden in the shadows of a crater at the bottom of the world. It's a testament to human curiosity and our relentless drive to explore the unknown. We went to the moon to find our place in the universe, and we found that the moon itself is the gateway to the stars. The next time you look up at the moon, remember that at its very base, in a place colder than anything you've ever experienced, there is a reservoir of potential waiting for the first footprints of the next generation of explorers. The Shackleton Crater is no longer just a hole in the ground. It is the foundation of our future in space. NASA's discovery has turned the page on a new chapter of history, one where we don't just visit the heavens, but we call them home. The mission continues, the technology evolves, and the mysteries of the lunar South Pole are slowly being brought into the light. We are ready for the challenge, and the moon is waiting for us to return.